Hey, friends. Growth requires letting go of some things. If you want to be able to move forward, you've got to let go of some things that were in your past. If you want to get to the next level, what got you to the level that you're at may not be the thing that keeps you going. That's what we're talking about. We've been in a story in Matthew chapter 9. We're going to read 16 and 17. You should read 14 to 17, but then we're going to talk about this idea some more. Growth requires letting go. No one sews a patch of unshrunken cloth on an old garment, for the patch will pull away from the garment, making the tear worse. Neither do people pour new wine into old wineskins. If they do, the skin will burst, the wine will run out, and the wineskins will be ruined. No, they pour new wine into new wineskins so that both can be preserved. See, what got you to where you are right now was a series of choices. And if you keep making those same choices, you're going to stay right where you're at. What's going to get you where you want to go is going to include some of the choices that have gotten you where you're at right now, but it's going to require a new mindset as well. See, that's what Jesus is talking about right here. What he's talking about is for the people that are following him, they're going to have to let go of the Jewish law. They're going to have to adopt the new covenant that he's bringing into place, a covenant of grace, not a covenant of law. And if they're going to keep following Yahweh, God, if they're going to keep having a relationship with him, it's going to be not through a bunch of priests and making sacrifices anymore. It's going to be through him. But the big idea that he's trying to teach them is that it really does require letting go. See, there's a story or a little couple of verses in the book of Hebrews, Hebrews chapter 12, that talks about this idea. Here's what it says. It says, since we're surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles. And let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of our faith. See, he says, as you're trying to run this race called life, throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles. See, what that means is some of the stuff that's keeping you from where you want to go, hindrances, it's not bad. Some of it's good things that you're doing, but it's holding you back. And it might be a person that you need to let go of. It might be a job. It might be, a dream that's pulling you in a different direction. You've got to figure out where, between you and Jesus, where your life is going to go. And then you've got to obviously get the sin out as much as possible. And we're going to do a multi-part on what, how the way I look at sin, I call it self-sabotage. But we got to get rid of that. But then we also might have to remove some things that are good so that we can keep moving forward, because growth requires letting go. See, if you watch the last video, you'll know that from a church perspective, what I mean is that there's a lot of churches that are holding on to their traditions and their past and their way of doing church for decades. And it's causing them to be ineffective in the community today. If you want your church to grow, if you don't want it to die, if you want it to grow, it requires letting go of some things. I know it's painful and frustrating, but this is just a principle that you find through Scripture. Jesus talks about pruning. That's letting go, right? The Hebrews, get rid of the hindrances, not just the sins, right? And Jesus says we don't put new wine into old wineskins. It never works, because growth requires letting go. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.